All right, so it's 4:02 p.m. and I'm calling this meeting of the Youth Council Communications Outreach Subcommittee to order. The first item on our agenda is updates from subcommittee members. So Lauren, I have you on there first, so if you want to go first.
All right. So I didn't really make a specific list because with Facebook, like, it's mostly parents and older people, so there isn't much going on. So that's honestly all for me. I'm just kind of posting, like, rewording posts and, like, doing the little red squares that you do, Alyssa, for Instagram. And I try to post, like, we're having a meeting today, or, you can fill out this survey and stuff like that. So that's really what I've been doing, but there isn't much happening. So that's it for me.
All right, Anthony, do you want to go talk
Yeah,
about the
cool.
newsletter?
So, yeah, actually, would it be possible if I could be able to screen share? So just have, it's not anything huge, but just like a small kind of like formatting that I created.
I don't think I'm the host. It won't let me share my screen.
Can I just stay there?
I
Okay,
think
cool.
you can do it because on mine it says share content.
Mine, if I click share screen, it says host disabled, and I don't have the host code today. Maybe we can ask Catherine.
Oh, I mean, I can just talk about what I wrote. So yeah, that's perfectly fine. So essentially, I mean, sort of like Lauren was saying, Facebook, the newsletter, obviously, I think it's going to appeal towards a more older audience for sure within the town. And essentially, I kind of just have this format for, I think, how the newsletter should work. So I just have the subject of season, either like the Youth Council season or month update. We haven't, I think today we could possibly definitely decide whether or not we want it to be monthly or seasonal. And then I have a section for the introduction, which just includes some information about kind of the overall role of the Youth Council and who its leading members are, and any more information about its functions. And I think for the first time we do have a newsletter, that information can be a little bit more extensive, and it can still stay there for each following newsletter, but definitely be a little bit more summarized, a little bit more concise, because at least the majority of the people reading the newsletter at that point will have an awareness of who the Youth Council is. After that, I want to put a section for just a summary of all the previous meetings, whether that's like one, or even if it's a monthly newsletter, or a few more if it's a seasonal, sort of kind of just many minutes, just like a summary of the highlights and the takeaways from the meetings in the past, and what initiatives and goals Youth Council is looking towards in the future. I also had a small section for maybe any upcoming occasions or events that the Youth Council may host. I mean, I kind of could see that happening in the future to some extent. I'm not exactly sure how that'll look, but I just wanted to have that in the formatting just so that would be there. So people reading the newsletter just are able to be notified of those events or occasions of any sort. And then the last two sections, I just included a section for kind of encouragement for any involvement, just kind of like a process for how to become part of public comments, or also just a way to directly engage with some of the Youth Council's initiatives at the time of writing that newsletter. And finally, at the end, probably at the end of it, every one of these emails will just be like some contact and accessibility information about like just the social media pages and how to access all of our minutes and agendas on the town website. So yeah, that's all I have for like the formatting of the newsletter. I'm sorry, I wish I had the documents so it could be a lot more visually friendly, but
yeah, no, that was great. If you could maybe like send that to us,
yeah, actually,
so we can kind of see it. You don't have to do it right now, but at some point, maybe today, that would be super great. So for the Instagram, I've mainly been using it kind of to advertise our meetings and promote like the survey Lauren made. I've been doing polls and things like that, DM'd some people who voted on the polls, and that's where the statements came from. So basically it's turned out to be pretty successful. Like even though it's like kind of a smaller scale right now, it's been pretty good. We have a lot of people like viewing our stories and stuff. We've had a few responses on the survey, and I also saw the youth action team promoted it today. So they put the link for our survey in their bio and also posted a story saying like, go follow Wakefield Youth Council. So hopefully that'll help. I have no idea who runs the account. I should find out so I can thank them. But
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I saw. I was like, whoa, cool.
Very nice, shameless plug.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're also going to be featured in one of the first bathroom buzzes of the year that the youth action team is putting together. I do know that. I had somebody contact me about that. So yeah, that's pretty much it at the moment.
It just started pouring here. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I just heard
on my
it.
side of town.
Yeah.
Too.
Catherine, you're muted.
Oh, I can't hear.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
It's so weird. So I ended up having to call in with my cell phone. I've never had to do this before. So all of a sudden it didn't start working. So I haven't been able to hear what you guys have been talking about so far. Is there anything you want to update me on?
I guess.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to do your little part on the news.
Okay. I could just do like so I just sort of actually, if it's possible now, I could.
I feel good.
I could screen share what I just have like a very small formatting for how I think the newsletter could work. And I guess the one thing I just wasn't, I guess we wanted to decide was just whether we wanted, and we were talking about this earlier, whether we wanted to be seasonal or monthly. So I just wasn't sure which one would, I don't know if there's any particular choice anyone wanted or.
I think, what were you going to say, Alyssa?
I was going to say, I think either one could be good. I just kind of think it depends on what we're doing if we want to send them more. So maybe like bi-monthly?
Yeah, maybe like every other month.
Yeah. So that way it's not like, here's what we've done for 3 months, because like we might have gone on to something and then completely finished with it by the time we send that out in our newsletter. So
I think about that is
people can like
because we'll probably have like 2 to 3 meetings during that time. So that will definitely be a solid amount of information to put into a newsletter, but not definitely too much.
Yeah. So if everybody agrees on that, I think bi-monthly that wouldn't be too much work for you, right, Anthony? And Ollie?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Ollie, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that sounds good?
Yeah, I think that sounds really good. Yeah, because I think that if we didn't do it monthly, like people would get, like they would start wondering what we're doing between those months. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because then it's not, I feel like if we did it every month, people might be like, oh, it's just another
too much to digest.
Right, exactly. But then if we did it every season or every few months, it might be too long that people want to read. So I feel like that's a good balance.
Yeah.
If that works for you.
For sure.
Awesome.
And Catherine, I was saying how the Instagram seems to be something that we can definitely use really well in the future. It has definitely been successful so far in terms of like the statements we had yesterday all came from the Instagram. The survey was promoted through the Instagram, and that was wildly successful. That was really great. And also the youth action team like promoted us today. I don't know if you had any part in that, but I did.
They were looking for something to share on their social media, and I said, oh, actually the youth council is trying to get more survey responses, so you can share that. So they were excited, and they're excited to share a section of the news flush and bathroom buzz and have like the youth council corner to those, so you guys can send them. And what I'll do is I'll put you all in touch with the 2 individuals. Someone runs the news flush at the Galvin. So Ollie, you probably are the person that's going to want to talk to them. And then I'm not sure who's going to run the news flush at the bathroom buzz at the high school, but I'll put you in touch.
Yeah. I had somebody DM me, Riley, I think her name was.
Yeah.
She DM'd me and I gave her like a 2-sentence like description of like what we do, because she wanted like a little introductory like short description to put in. So we will be in the first one of the year or whatever, so hopefully that can be something we use.
Yeah, and Ollie, it might be good too when they have the first youth action team meeting of the year, or one of the first, if you and Thomas and Jenna and some of the other Amelia Galvin members came to that meeting and introduced yourselves as the youth action team and kind of, talk about some things that you're doing.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, so does anybody have any more updates they want to give before we move to the next item?
I'm good.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is discussion on future outreach methods. So just before I forget this, I thought of this the other day. I know, Lauren, you'd mentioned getting a logo designed.
Yeah,
right?
Ali actually sent Catherine and Jack and I one. I really like it. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, never mind then.
It's great.
I was just going to say, if we were still looking for one or we wanted something designed at one point, we could put something up on the Instagram or whatever, but that's great that we have one.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
never mind then.
So I was going to say is there a way to take what you designed and take the Wakefield logo, the one with the because that was Jennifer's recommendation, to have that be somewhere in the logo. So to take what you've designed and maybe figure out a way to put that in there.
Yeah, I was using Adobe Spark, so I don't really know, because we had used it back in the spring for school. I don't really know like all the techniques, how to use it, but I could research that. Yeah, I could figure out how to use that, how to do that.
Because we can send, what I do is have Jennifer send you, because she can, what do we have the logo in, like a JPEG?
PNG.
PNG, okay. So do you have the Wakefield logo in the PNG?
I don't know.
I can get that and send it to you, so you can kind of play around and use, because I bet there's a way to do that.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
But I like it definitely, I think you're heading in the right direction with that. So I'll send that to you.
One idea I had with Alyssa, I texted her about it a while ago, was to do, I mean, this isn't really like a method of outreach, but for the social medias and the newsletter, maybe doing, if people wanted to do it, obviously, like it would be optional, but kind of like a meet the members kind of thing. So we could have like a picture and then a little description of kind of like why they joined youth council, their age and things like that. So I just wanted to throw that idea out there.
And like doing that, it would hopefully kind of put more of a human face to it instead of just like an Instagram page where they're like, I don't know who's on it, but
yeah,
this is the thing.
Yeah,
I think that would definitely maybe be helpful in getting people more engaged, because they're like, oh, like I know that person, so they might be more willing to engage. Like, I'll help this person out and I'll like come to a meeting, or I'll send them something that I'm suggesting or something like that.
Yeah, it may make us more approachable than just like a page.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, could one of you create a Google form that you send out to the members with certain questions or something, and say upload a photo here, so then you can get all the information in one place? And then I could work on getting it on the website, but if you guys could work on getting it on Instagram, that would be great.
Yeah. Catherine, we need the waivers to do that.
Yeah, so that's a really good point. I'll reach back out to the town lawyer, Tom Mullen. I sent him an email. I created a template. I'll just follow up with him on if the one I sent is okay. But very good, Alyssa. We do need that.
Yeah, but we can definitely work on getting stuff together. So once we have a waiver, hopefully we can just get right on it.
Right, and once we have that waiver, I'll put those in the mail. I wonder if there's a way to do an e-signature, if we're allowed to do that.
Well, that's how like the applications were. Like I just had to like do it on a PDF and just like sign it with a stylus. So
okay, so then I'll ask Sherry how she could probably set that up for us, and then that'll be a lot easier for your parents or guardians to sign that up.
Yeah, okay. So Lauren, do you want to make that form? I know you had mentioned it before.
Yeah, I'd be happy to, but if someone else, like, I'm fine with whatever. So,
okay.
But yeah, I could do it.
What do you think that people would want to know about each member to help Lauren out?
I was thinking probably like name, grade, like maybe school, because I mean, obviously not all of us go to Wakefield, like Jack goes to St. John's. So
right.
That would be helpful too. And also like why you join youth council, maybe just like a fun fact. So it's not like I joined youth council because this, like also something just like I do this on the weekends, or like I'm in marching band or something like that. Just like short, so people don't read a ton, but it's enough to make us human.
So fun fact and why they joined youth council, and maybe liaison board too.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I can definitely hop on that. That's easy enough to do. So, I can probably also, I mean, we might have to wait to do that until probably after we get the waiver. But I think there's a way that if you input a picture or a video into Google Drive, you can kind of drop it in the Google form. So you could either do that directly, or we can just have them email it to me or whoever.
Yeah, and if you have it as a file on your computer, I know at least for Macs that you can just like download it as a file and upload it.
Yeah.
But either way is fine. Like if people just want to shoot me an email with it, just a picture attached saying this is my picture for the like meet the members or whatever, that's fine too. Whatever people are more comfortable with.
Sounds
but
good.
I think you're right with the Google Drive. It's easy just to grab a photo if people have that. This will be exciting. I think people will really like seeing that the meet the members piece.
Yeah, and obviously we can make it optional. So if somebody's not comfortable with it, they do not have to do it. It's totally okay.
Or they could put a photo of their dog.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Do that too.
It doesn't even have to be a picture of them, and then we can still have
like their name,
like their information, so they still feel a part of it.
We definitely make it more customizable for sure.
Yeah, make it as comfortable as possible.
So I think it's kind of important to note that since we're continuing with the warrior logo, do we want to do something in terms of like, so I know we're supposed to educate ourselves and do a little research into the topic, but do we want to kind of come up with something where it's educating our peers, or at least providing kind of like resources for them? Or is that like too much? Is that overboard?
I think it's a good idea as long as it's I think it's a good idea as long as we provide both sides to it, because like I know a lot of people have very different opinions of it with like the survey and everything. So I feel like we could do like here's one resource that says why we should keep it, and here's one resource that says that why we need to change it, or something along those lines.
And we
Yeah.
could
So
just
it's neutral.
Yeah.
we could just say like, oh, we've been like discussing the status of the warrior logo, and like here are the two opposing arguments that we've been investigating and taking a look at.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't have to do that if not everybody's comfortable with it, but I think that might be something that would maybe get people a little more involved with it. Like if they can read why the people they disagree with think that way or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, so you have until the end of September for your next meeting. So maybe what you can do too is, I thought those slides that you put together, that Yana and Lauren put together, the pros and the cons for each argument. I wonder if there's a way, would there be a way to put those into, or just make them, or do like a one pager that's something you put on Instagram, or you do each of those slides as, you know, put the I forget what some of the headers were. What were some of the prodding questions?
Gosh, I think like it was also like it was long ago, so why does it matter now, or something?
Yeah,
Like it's just a logo.
Yeah, so those types of things, and putting the reasons in. I would also insert some of those things that we learned from our guest yesterday, kind of the fact that the warrior logo itself doesn't actually represent the Native Americans that lived in this area, that it was a plain, you know, I thought that was really, you know, just the more that we're learning, you know, that's good information to get out there, because it might kind of be like, oh, okay, I didn't even know that warrior doesn't even represent the Native Americans that lived here.
Yeah, I can definitely like make some of the information they put on the slides into like stories and stuff like that, and I could even just do like a feed post if you want me to do that too. But I can definitely.
What do you all think? Because I don't know anything about what Alyssa's talking about with Instagram.
I think it's a good idea. Ollie, do you have any thoughts on like, because I know obviously like some people, like I had social media in middle school, but some people don't. Do you have any ideas on how we can kind of reach middle schoolers in a more like less social media way?
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about this earlier. So everyone is going back to school online for at least the first few couple of days. So I was thinking that emailing using school accounts is a good way to provide information and get ourselves out there, like emailing all the students at the Goblin and possibly even the high school, since everyone is starting online. So, and I don't know if it's true about the high school, but not a lot of kids check their email.
No.
So since we're doing it now, I think that it would be the perfect time to use email.
I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So maybe, would that be something you and Anthony would want to kind of take on, like contact the administration, see
Sure.
if they, like if we send them an email, if they would be willing to forward that out to all the classes?
Yeah, for sure. Kind of like a mini, I'm thinking of it like just a really like mini newsletter for like all the students, sort of in a way.
Yeah, like super mini.
Yeah, like really brief. Yeah, they're not going to want to read much.
Yes. And
I know. I'm glad we have Ali to do the middle school, because that would be hard if we were trying to juggle two different schools. So if you're comfortable with that, I think that would be really great.
Yeah.
And so that would be focused on the logo, or just like us, and like would that be our introduction, Anthony, or would you want to have it be a specific focus?
I mean, Ali, I don't know if you had any other thoughts, but I was just thinking, yeah, it could just be like an introduction about who the youth council is, just at the beginning of the school year to kind of make them aware going forward. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of any like specific initiatives that we would be talking about, but if you had any thoughts, Ali, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so my only thoughts would be just to always thinking about what's that call to action. So just kind of provide, okay, you can go to our website or go to our Instagram to get more information about the current issues we're addressing. So that if that's a static newsletter introduction, and you guys can use that press release and put out in the paper that's more of an adult audience, so thinking about ways to formulate it to the high schoolers, and then it might be a different, I have 2 middle schoolers in my house, and I can tell you they would not read more than like 5 or 6 sentences, so figuring out how to make it, or you could use graphics to make it really interesting. Infographics. Isn't there some sort of picture or something so you can actually make it really more engaging to the eye?
All right. Yeah, so I think that's a good start. So hopefully with everybody maybe checking their emails a little more than usual, maybe we'll be able to like get some more people involved and that kind of thing. So that should be very good. And then I can start working with Lauren a little bit on like publicizing information on like both sides of the warrior logo debate soon-ish. And like the next week and a half, maybe we can start getting stuff up. I don't want to do anything too soon and have it be inaccurate.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. And also, for if and when, like, I'm not, I know school is just so still up in the air, but if we end up doing the hybrid model after the 2 weeks of remote learning, we could also have it put in, if administration approves it, we could have it put in the announcements. So then we're still not flooding emails and everything. So that would just be another form of communication that we could do.
Yeah, and I know that the Galvin, we do every morning Get Up Galvin. So if we were able to like add the youth council into that, that would be really good way to spread information.
I forgot about Get Up Galvin.
That's a really good idea. I know Mr. Cosman has been so like smart with all of that.
Yeah.
I would encourage him to have a couple of youth members on Get Up Galvin. So.
How early is it?
Cool.
They do it like pretty early.
Oh, all right.
Like,
I can work on that.
I'd be like willing to do it if nobody else wanted to.
We gotta be up early anyways next week, so.
Yeah, so like I could definitely contact him about that if that's something we want to do.
Yeah.
Or Ali, you could even do it too, or both of you.
Definitely.
So Ali, would you want to send that email, or would you?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, I can send it to either. Would I send it to Mr. Colantoni or Mr. Tetrell?
I would send it to Mr. Colantoni.
Okay.
Or you could even do both of them too, like CC Mr. T on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love that.
Yeah, and then maybe we could send out an email to like the whole council being like, does anybody have like a burning desire to like get up early and do this video? But yeah, so I think that would be good. Like I think we should definitely have like at least one middle schooler on there. If more, then I think we should absolutely let more middle schoolers be on there. But maybe like one high schooler, like 3 of us. Would that be like okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. Okay. So does anybody have anything else that they would like to discuss?
Catherine, do you know, this is like totally off topic about like communication and everything, but do you know if we're gonna get like, because I know there's talk about us getting like sworn in. Do you know if that's happening?
I think we need to just go to town hall. I think we literally just need to show up to town hall.
Yeah, when it
Well, that's right. I'm frustrated about that. Yeah, so you all should get sworn in. Do you know, it would be nice if people could do it. Let me talk to Betsy tomorrow morning, who's our town clerk, And if you all could do it during the day before you start school, maybe Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and then I could snap some photos of, maybe we could do different times, either come at this time or that time. Then I can snap some photos of you guys getting sworn in, of the youth council members. Yeah, I mean, you'll be wearing your mask, but, so those probably wouldn't be the best profile pictures, but
All right.
I could make a collage and I can put it out on Facebook and everything of you all getting sworn in. But thanks for reminding me that, Lauren.
Yeah, of course.
I
It
totally
just
forgot
popped
about
into my
that.
mind.
Yeah, my mom asked me the other day, she was like, when are you going to get sworn in? I was like, I forgot.
So official. I wasn't like expecting that when I saw it on the, I don't remember where I saw it, but
on like the letter thing, I don't even know.
yeah.
I was like, ooh, fancy.
Well, but it's true because you are appointed members. There are certain protocols, certain things that you have to abide by as an appointed member. So, very important. Okay, I will take care of that.
All right, so if there's nothing else people would like to discuss, do we want to set the next meeting date?
Or
Let's see, so how far do we want to go out?
We could always just do like just how we did it for this week, just do the 31st. Actually, it was no September 31st. Am I saying? I'm sorry, October 1st.
Yeah.
The day after our meeting on the 30th.
Yeah, I think that might be like a good idea. Because like if there's something new we want to like promote at a meeting, we can just talk about it the next day.
All
right, so yeah. Does that work for everybody? October 1st at 4?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Yep. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion.
I second the motion.
Everybody for joining the meeting, say yes, please.
Yes, please.
Oh my God. Everybody opposed, say nay. All right.
Okay, thank you everyone. For getting this meeting set up and everything. And yeah, if there's anything you're going to post, just send it to me so I can just look it over really quick. If you're going to post it on Instagram or anything. And as far as if you're communicating with a town leader or a principal or somebody, you can CC me or simply CC the youth council email, because that goes to both Jack and myself. So that might even be the easiest. Or you can CC me as well. And if there's anything you need sent out, I have a list of the youth council members that I can send. So if you want something sent out to the whole youth council, let myself or anyone else know. Because we have a couple of people that just have their Wakefield public schools, and that's hard because you can't send it from a town. So I'm not sure who that is that has that. I have to look.
I have
somebody keeps bouncing back, and then Nick often gets bounced back too. So we'll have to talk to him about what's going on with his email.